Hey, Ken from ASI, the White Glove guys. So we've been talking about keeping your home healthy and little tips we can do to improve the quality of the air in our home. Let's kind of talk about the different spaces in our home, and one is the main living area. I mean, family rooms and living rooms, where you're spending most of your time outside of your bedrooms. And here's just some general tips on that. One thing I know we talked about, but let's go over again, is removing your shoes. I mean, if you're wearing, you got a set of outside shoes and inside shoes, you're not going to be carrying a lot of hitchhikers in on the bottom of your shoes. You walk through the door, you get rid of your outside shoes, and you got your inside sandals, shoes, slippers, whatever you have. And that's going to go a long way towards keeping pollutants out of your house. So that's something that helps a lot. Choosing the right cleaning products. Again, especially if you've got somebody in your house who does have asthma, allergies, upper respiratory problems, be conscious of what kind of cleaning products you're bringing into your home and they're not actually poisoning you from the outgassing. One thing I heard once before, if you wouldn't drink it, you probably shouldn't breathe it. So, be conscious of what kind of cleaning products you're bringing in your home. Another thing to be aware of, you probably heard before, new car smell, right? You get a new car smell. There are people who can't and won't tolerate their immune systems. They're hypersensitive to new car smell, because what that really is oftentimes is formaldehyde and other products outgassing. So when you get new carpet, furniture, desks, things like this, that's particle board with glues, they tend to have an outgassing period, and that could really act on somebody who's got allergies or upper respiratory problems. One thing that some people will do is you can actually take that and maybe let that product sit out, if it's possible, like a desk or something, and we're sitting outside or somewhere in the sun where it heats and causes it to be warmer, it'll actually it'll excel the outgassing process. And if you're going away for a day, you might say, hey, let's heat the house up to 80 degrees. If you warm your house up and then leave for the day, that'll also accelerate the outgassing of carpets, tiles, and things like that. So be very conscious of that, especially, if you got a daughter, son, maybe a small person, elderly person, and they're already hypersensitive and got bad allergies, and you're buying these new products, be really careful about putting them in their rooms and what you're doing there. And vacuuming, a central vacuum system is probably the best system you can have, because it exhausts into your garage area. So as you vacuum up the smallest particulate, it doesn't get re-exhausted and reintroduced into the home. So choosing a good vacuum system can really help. A central vac, like I say, is kind of the top rung on the ladder. Buying a good HEPA vacuum could also help. And again, HEPA is going to only let the smallest particulate back into the air. So if you're going to use a vacuum like that, once again, make sure you're circulating the air in your house through your furnace, and especially if you got a high efficiency filter, because that'll cause the air to the small particulate that does get stratified, that's going to help tremendously. And and one of the bigger things too, especially if you got people or you do suffer from allergies or respiratory problems, eliminate carpet whenever possible. Use tile, use vinyl planking and these different products that you can sponge mop. I mean, it'll have a tremendous impact on the small allergy triggers that hide inside of your carpet and your upholstery. Okay, so again, air circulation, being able to circulate the air in your home is a big deal. Now, they make furnaces actually where the blower motors, it could cost you $40 to $50 a month to circulate your air 724, and people are like, no way. You can get that, and they make furnaces where they have these special, they're called ECM motors, and these motors actually reduce the electric draw by 85%. So 85% goes a long way towards paying for itself in a very short period of time if you're the type of person who wants to circulate and turn your heating and air system into an indoor air quality machine. I mean, you'll be hard pressed to find a better return on investment than getting a furnace with a variable modulating motor. So that's a big deal. Window coverings, horizontal fabric draperies tend to trap more dust. Vertical vinyl trap less dust. So again, now I know that becomes a personal choice. And all I'm trying to do is make a point so you can be conscious of that when you're designing for somebody who might have allergies or upper respiratory problems. And keeping your humidity levels right. Big deal, right? If you tend to live in an area that has a lot of humidification, you might think of dehumidifiers. Beaches, on canyons, dehumidifiers work well. In areas that are extremely dry, having a humidifier is a nice way to go. But let me warn you, in San Diego, we got such hard water. If you're going to invest in a humidifier, you have to be prepared to have that humidifier serviced a minimum one time a year, because our water is so hard. It clogs up jets. It wreaks havoc on these types of products. So these are some ideas for the main living areas. Certainly they're not the only thing, but a few things I could think of today. Thanks. Look forward to catching you on the next video.